Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Vanity Fair. My name is Chris Farah, and today I'm talking 90 Day Fiance. It's season 12, it's episode 15. It's better to bend than break. So, just be flexible in life. Just know that to survive, you have to sometimes give. And, that's just what it is. And that means that you live another day. And the person that couldn't do such, breaks down. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. That's like, I guess, real life shit. It's not a bad episode title because I often make fun of them. And I feel like that one, is what it is. I don't know exactly who that's in reference to. Maybe Mallory and I could think it's Mallory and Receipt, maybe just like what she gave. It's better to bend than break. Okay, I mean, here. We are going to, by the way, start with Katie and Josh, and I have a lot of pictures, so I know it's going to be a two-part. I'm so thankful that you guys are listening. Thank you so much. It's back to school time, honey. I'm back from all my vacations. I'm excited to kind of just like get back into the groove as well as like focusing back on work and I mean, honestly, any sort of like exercise routine possible and just, not being so singly focused on, things that were taking up the last, like, honestly, year of my life. I mean, I am such an extremist. I really find myself someone who, goes from one obsession to another. So, in order for me to have balance, it's like the most weird, mindful, constant check in to be like, what am I doing for this area? What am I doing for this? What are you moving? Are you, like meal prepping or eating right or making sure you have quality ingredients in your house so that you're not ordering food and like, wasting money and over, whatever, like, eating poorly, all of that. Like, and as obviously everyone has their own things. Everyone knows how life is. So it's not, I'm not telling you anything you don't know, but it's just sometimes in my mind when I'm focusing on something, having to remember that, paying the bills, going to the doctor's appointments, like checking in on loved ones, my own social life, writing, work that pays bills, like all of that surely is difficult, especially someone who, like, yeah, executive functioning is difficult for me. Like, I'm so thankful. I'm halfway in the middle of a return right now, which is a big deal for me. Just kidding. I sometimes make returns and sometimes I really try and talk myself into living with whatever it was. This one I can't possibly. Their shoes are too small. They're gorgeous. So I have to return them because it's like laughable. Honestly, I'm like, I bought them. I don't understand in what world did I think that was it my finger or was it them that decided that I was gonna be like a size 6? It's honestly like Cinderella, where I am the evil stepsister, and my mom is like, "Get your foot in that," and it's like the smallest shoe, and I'm like, "No, no, I'm gonna live here with you for the rest of my life. I'm not gonna get my foot in that shoe. No, not in a way, no way. Get that, you know, girl that we like make clean up everything, have her do it. Tiny dainty feet, demure ass feet, honey, she'll do it." Anyway, God bless. Speaking of that kind of shoe, I did buy that like Chloe jelly, which is in the shape of Cinderella's shoe. You know what I'm talking about? It's like kind of like a low kitten heel kind of peep toe. Well, it is kind of like heel. Anyway, surely you're like, can you start this recap? And I'm like, yeah, no, I get it. I get it. However, at the same time, thank you so much for listening. And thank you so much for listening to me ramble in my mind. At the same time, if you want more of me, you can follow me for free things at Chris L. Farah on Instagram, at TikTok. Make sure to give this podcast 5 stars, as well as if you want, join my Patreon. I do lives there. And that is for $5 a month right now. I am going to revamp my world, my life, starting as I said, in September, back to school, as well as my YouTube. So there'll be more content there and things will feed into things and we can talk about some pop culture things. Because, for instance, you do know that I've been obviously obsessed with, talking about the baby bald eagles and Jackie and Shadow in Big Bear. And I cannot believe, and I on this meaning this, I cannot believe since watching all that has happened. Like, it's first of all heartbreaking and beautiful and sad and true. It's like theater, also a soap opera. I can't even tell you. So, as you know, Jackie and Shadow are two birds. They're eagles in Big Bear that had two babies this past spring, Sandy and Luna. And there was all this drama because, like one of them had a fludge where like they didn't like fly out right. I told you all this. And then now they're best friends, they're fine. And Shadow, their dad, just kept feeding them. And there was like the situation where Jackie got sick and like she tried to fend off some like sub eagles that were in the area. And then this one like woman, okay. This one eagle was like, that's the problem, by the way, what I just did. Anyway, this one eagle, like people were like calling Jolene or whatever. Jackie goes to a clinic or whatever, and people give so much money to that clinic. And then Jackie, by the way, passed away. Okay. Hadam, Hadam. R.I.P. Jackie. Then cut to Shadow, who is now already entertaining a younger eagle who's named Katie. KD. Those are the initials. One. It's a tagged eagle. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you think I'm crazy about this, you have no but fuck idea what is happening on Facebook with people who are like, Shadow's just like my ex-husband. Moving on so fast. I can't believe him. Like the level of absolute delusion about these eagles that exist. People being like, they killed him. They killed her. That Raptor Center killed her. They wanted Jackie and her money, and they were just so, jealous of her fame. They butchered her. Like you're just like, oh my God, you guys are I can't I mean, like, really talking about it is, like, horrible and also just fascinating. Like, I wish I could tell you will stop reading the comments, but I just know where to go for the craziest ones, and I also know where to go for, like, the right ones and, like, to know what's happening, and it's, like, across the board. I cannot. It is so much better than anything on television, I think right now, but I haven't been watching anything. Oh, except for what am I talking about? 90 Day Fiance. Okay, so Katie and Josh. Ha ha ha. So I mean, can you just honestly, that's fine. I care about other things too. It's just I wanted to bring that up because like yeah, like I could literally talk about that on YouTube with people. I know that you guys, I know there are people who know what I'm talking about and like want to like, comment and give me like live banter on it. And I'm here for it. I'm also here for like, Mary Poppins, Feed the Birds, the Assified, like, things that are just like fun to talk about. Feed the birds. Okay, Katie and Josh. So they're flying back. They get off the plane. They act, honey, like for a moment, they are so exhausted and they seem to be like so jet lagged and so tired from this trip. I'm like, are they going to London? Are they now traveling back to London? But no, they a 45-minute like Southwest hop, skip, and a jump to Oakland. They're making it seem like it's a big deal. So they've obviously had their open marriage talk, but they're kissing now, whatever. She's kissing him. And, surprise, surprise, the girl who's like, I have, like Chris Farah says she has executive dysfunction. This girl, Katie, God bless, has even more than me. Like she makes me look, honey, like Mary Poppins. Okay. Like honestly, feed them birds. That's me. I'm just like, on top of my shit compared to Katie at the same time. God bless. And sometimes a little bit Katie. Not really. So, but I do like making out. Okay. So anyway, she's like, for the wedding, I'm making sure we're doing everything ourselves because I am the following things: a procrastinator, overwhelmed. I don't know how to make decisions. I obsess over things. I'm bossy and I'm cheap. I know that I'm all those things. And on top of knowing that I'm all those things, I'm the one getting married. I am the bride. So I'm going to make sure that I'm doing Katie, which is everything to make my life a living hell, everyone around me. I'm Katie. Josh is still there. So he's no captive. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no cult of Katie. He's there. Free will. Okay. She's like, we're gonna do that. I'm gonna do the cake. So we remember we saw a whole ass tasting. If I was that cake tasting place where she brought her parents, when we realized they hadn't done anything and they hadn't had a venue yet, and she was like, hey mom, hey dad, can we get married at your house? And they're like, no. So now she's like, oh, I'm not gonna pay $500 for a cake. Girl, how much did you think wedding cakes were? Katie, see, sometimes Katie is so unbelievably delusional. I'm like, don't you know that, Katie? And then if you do know that, like, why are you wasting anyone's time? Like, Katie, if you're gonna be that frugal, I want you to at least get with the times and know that, like, yeah, wedding cakes are very expensive. So if you don't want to spend it, just look online, see how much it is, and don't go in and be like, maybe I'll do a tasting if you know you're just gonna like bake something from fucking either scratch or box by yourself. Okay. By the way, I think you really can save money in a lot of ways in, weddings. I don't mind someone and I could see a world in which, like, if you had a small wedding, like, I would bake my own cake or something like that because 'cause I'm not a big cake person. Like, surely I think that food is more important. I don't think anyone's like, "Oh my god, the food was so good." The music, amazing. The flowers, so good. The cake was horrible. I wish them death. I hope they get divorced. This divorce is upon them. Like, no one's like that because, cake is, like, meaningless to me. Like, I like certain cakes, but, like, surely it's not the end of the world. I also low key, I'm like, "Katie, can't you just make however many cake pops? Make sure you like, throw them on the floor. Each one, just, like, covered in industrial kitchen floor juice." I like cake pops. Clean ones. Okay, so, she also said she's doing the flowers herself, and, I get it, wanna save that money. You can really spend disgusting amounts on flowers. Disgusting amounts. I think yeah, like, the dress some gorgeous dresses are whatever. Annabelle's is 200, it's fine. Some dresses you can find either like on sale or sample or from someone, for super cheap, and some are really expensive. I don't think you have to spend a lot of money for a dress. Flowers are hard though because it's not just getting a professional like person to do it. That means that they set it up and they do it all and they source all the flowers and they make sure they're all cut and you don't have to worry about getting water anywhere or like, like pollen soot on you or whatever on your white. Like all of that is what you're paying for. And also just peace of mind not having to think about it. So, but she's like, I'm crafty. I like cooking. So, what I really mean is I'm just going to boss everyone around. I want my mom to prep the food. Um, oh no, or maybe she wants his mom to prep the food. His parents are coming in and they come in to, they're going to come in. And so to prep, so sorry, they're coming in to help prep for the wedding. Now to prep for them coming, Josh has decided to make their tried and true cucumber mayonnaise sandwiches with the crusts cut off. Real English shit. They're like, Katie's like, I'm gonna have high tea. I'm like, what time is it? Is it 4? Is it 3? I don't know. But also obviously it's the meeting of the parents, which is a big deal. His mom is named Rebecca and his dad is named Philip. Now, interesting parents. His mom is wearing a shirt that can only be described as the kind of shirt where nurses wear the same, like, style and they all get to pick their multiple pattern to wear, and they have, like, a couple in their closet, that kind of shirt. Why I say that? Because it's like a scrub, but not really, like, usually scrubs are, like, bold colors, but I feel like, whether it's, honey, pediatric nurses. There are certain nurses, God bless, and I'm so happy for them. It's like, I went to Catholic school, so I know what it's like to wear a uniform, and I also was in a sorority, so I know what it's like to have to wear something but can, like, mildly adjust it. Yeah, it's like that kind of nurse shirt where you would go to a specialized store and be like, "I'll get, the red one, the green one." Yeah, that one that is kind of like different tablecloths, I'll get that one, that's the one she chose, with a navy outline. So, they also say something interesting, they say, "It's a bit nice to see Josh." Is it? English people are so funny. Is it? That's a little dry. It's a bit nice to see your son about to get married in America. Have you been to America a bunch? Has he been to America a bunch? How many kids do you have? Is this your first son? It's a bit nice to see Josh. I just obviously, A, love accents. You're like, "Stop talking about it." I know. But at the same time, it's just not just the accent, it's just, like, the words. Because, it's totally normal for them, and they're I'm sure that phrase probably means, "It's absolutely lovely to see our son. It's exciting to be able to see him before his wedding day." But it's so edited to be, "It's a bit nice to see Josh," is just so funny to me. It's the I think the opposite of certain romantic languages, like, probably, like, Italian or whatever, and certainly, like, not Arabic, right? Like, Arabic parents would be like, I don't know how to say it in Arabic, too bad, but, like, expressive, like, "I have moved with my hope and love, the sun and the earth, so that I could witness this blessed day between these 2 God's chosen kids." You're just like that, like, it's just like that. In Arabic, they would say that. That's why it's so funny to me. Okay. Um, so the his father starts to bring up, like, "What have you done? Like, what's the preparation?" Like, and it's very obvious, like, not nothing and not anything. And for some reason, no one pushes back that that's weird. Like, all we get is the calling out, like, "So what has to happen?" And Katie be like, "Well, tomorrow, no one's sleeping. We're all getting up at like the crack of dawn, like cock a doodle doo, honey. And I'm just basically, this is a work camp. And I'm bossing you around. We have to make the centerpieces. We have to make the flowers. We have to make all the food. I have to cook. I have to bake, setting up, whatever it is, all of it." And so, yeah, they realize her version of not spending money is just using her older family members. The ones that gave birth to her, that are, like, stuck with her, and his ones that are like, "Welcome to the family. She's not gonna spend a dime for your comfort or think about your experience at all. You just got off the plane, your son's getting married, you might wanna, like, explore this area at all. Nope. You are now my bitch." It's just like, I wonder why, I guess, her mom at some point wasn't like, "Katie, that's really rude to do to them. Like, as your mom, it's my duty to tell you, you can't do that to people. They're older people, like, they need to rest. They can't be on, like, 12-hour planes and then jump out and then do whatever the fuck you wanna do and then, like, have a time difference and then have to make it to a wedding, girl. Get your friends that are around here, and if you don't have any friends, then get a GoFundMe or don't ask for any gifts and have people pay for this because this is really intense. This is really shitty to do to people. I am your mother, so there's no one else I can tell you. It's on me. I can't blame you for being bossy and for doing this if I'm just sitting there being like, "Okay, what?" Like, it's interesting. Okay, so God bless. So here we are. So I'm just whatever. Before we get to the day of her actually bossing them around, this awkward moment happens where his dad is like, "Let's also talk about the vows. Like, how do you feel about that?" And Josh is like, "Well, I want my vows to just simply say that I will always be there, but I am not going away. Katie, I want you to know you can do whatever you want. You can really disrespect me. You can not think of me at all. You can be rude to me. You can obviously cheat on me multiple times, rub it in my face, in front of me, my family members, like, if I don't know if I have a brother, but I'm sure you're gonna make out with him, like, if you haven't yet, I'm sure if I have any cousins, if I have anyone around me, if you make out with him, which I'm sure you will, I still won't leave you. That's me. I'm Josh. That's the vow. That's what I'm vowing for you." She's like, "Cool. That sounds great. Hey, Josh's dad and mom, I want to make sure that you feel like his new wife is going to take care of him too. So here are my vows. I, Katie, OCD, love to make out, 4 minutes, want to kiss, vow to always stay with you as long as you have hair. I'll be with you until you're bald. Now, Josh is already balding. So this is rather rude. What she's saying is he has a year, 2 years till she's going to leave him. That's what the vow is. That's what she says to him in front of his parents. I vow to stay with you, and unless you don't have any hair or you're ugly in any other way or you're unattractive to me in any other way is also like in parentheses what I want to say, you know. Could you imagine if the tables were turned and like the sexes were reversed and the guy was like, "Well, I'll tell you what I want to say to you about your daughter. I vow to stay with her as long as she's pretty. Whatever I think ugly is. She gets old, she's saggy skin, she gets fat, I don't care. And then I can get rid of her." Then her parents just like, because they're British and they, can't basically even say that it's nice to see him. So they just sit there and look at her and they just eat that like dry ass sandwich, unseasoned sandwich, honey. Like, here's the thing about a sandwich, and I mean this wholeheartedly. The best part of a sandwich to me are the following things: crunch, like crunchy lettuce or pickles, mustard, deli preferred, like brown or seeded or Dijon, cheese, salty like cheddar, and then like, like some semblance of like the bread and meat. But like mayonnaise is just there to make the other bread that mustard isn't on not dry. I like it. Specifically, I like mayonnaise the way it interacts with lettuce. But these tea-ass sandwiches with these cucumbers, they never have lettuce in them. They just have cucumbers. Like, it's so interesting. It's so bland. Like, it's not cream cheese. Okay, God bless. Just stop talking about it, Chris. Anyway, um, so then she's like, "Hey, let me try again. I'm going to vow," it's a good one, "to try to not get other lovers. Try." I'm Katie. I'm going to try to not get other lovers. I'm saying that in front of his parents. Now, Josh's face when she says that is a certain kind of mix of, oh shit, humiliation, and then I am just going to say, and if you're watching on YouTube, or Patreon's going to get it first, and that's why you should give me $5. Ha ha ha. But if you're watching on YouTube, tell me if there's not in this tinge of humiliation sexually and excitement, a brightness in his eye. You could tell me it looks like he has like a hostage. You could tell me both. However, there's been enough of this where like you can't hold someone hostage with nothing. I mean, like, what is she like? You would have to be like, you don't even know behind the scenes. She is an emotional manipulator, and she held him emotionally like hostage in some sort of way where she's like, and she had, honey, I don't know, manipulated him through something porn. I'm not going to even tell you. I have no idea why, but like okay, that happens in front of his parents. If that happened in front of my parents, my dad would not let me get married to that person. He would say something. He'd be like, "What the fuck? You what?" Okay. I'm never getting married, so why is it's a moot point? So, oh, okay. They just sit there on that. They sit there on the thumbs. He twiddles them. I'm telling you, no one says anything. Not her parents, not his parents, not him, not nothing. I don't know what kind of world this is where Katie runs it, but Katie runs this world. Like, Katie is the way she is because for some reason this world allows it. The entire world. No one's like, "That's rude." Wait, he's telling you that he's never gonna leave you, and you're saying that you're gonna try and not fuck around on him in front of us? You met us, like, once, that one time maybe, and you're saying this in front of your parents? And we're looking to look at your parents, and, like, I wanna know, like, what it was like when Josh's mom heard that, made an immediate beeline eye contact to Katie's mom, and spoke the secret girl eye language of, "What the fuck did you raise? Yeah, is that what you d what are you gonna do about this? Is this what huh, you gonna sit there too? You're gonna sit there? Oh, I'm gonna sit here, honey, because 'cause I'm gonna tell you right now, this is not my energy to give for this crazy ass banshee. But if anyone can rail her in, is that the word? I don't know. Real? Real. It would be you, and you certainly don't. And that's what I'm going to clock. That's what I'm clocking. Has Katie ever had anyone in her life sort of like be direct and shoot the shit with her? Because Josh is constantly being like, yeah, Katie, you're just so direct. You sometimes hurt my feelings. She's like, what? Do I? Well, you have to get over it. And he's like, no, I just sometimes think you can be too harsh. She's like, well, can you just not be such a fucking baby? And then remember, her mom is like, yeah, Katie's lost relationships. She's lost friendships before. And I want to be like, okay, has Katie always been friends with like people that are very nice and kind of like a little like, shy and or socially, anxious and kind of enjoy watching Katie move through this world with what seems like a lot of confidence and a lot of fun times involving alcohol and making out, where they don't have like the confidence or security to be like, bitch, what? Because yeah, has she never been friends with someone that like calls her out, puts her in her place? And is the answer yes, and that did happen? How did she react? I want to know, like, was she like, "Oh, okay. Well, I don't think so." And people were like, "No, girl, your friend Julie is right." That's what we've all been saying. You are doing too fucking much. Calm the fuck down and let people live. Worry about yourself and getting a little more of your shit together, girl. Like, I know if you're having obsessive thoughts, instead of like acting on them for and bossing the people around, like get those thoughts to try and put into action getting your life together, your own life. Also, in certain situations, you have to pay for things. I hate to say this. It's like these are the things you have to pay in certain situations. If you decide to get married, like a full on wedding, it costs money. That's your decision to have that wedding. It's not anyone else's. People can help you, of course, do wedding things. Like brides can help you, like with the invitations or, with the centerpieces or whatever. But like that shit would absolutely have to happen like weeks before and not days before. And I don't really think it should be the eldest members of your family that undoubtedly are giving you some money for this. So anyway, so like the other thing is like, yeah, if you're going to go out for to eat at a restaurant, you have to tip, right? If you sit down and a server serves you, you obviously have to tip them. You can't be like, I don't have the money for it. Be like, well, you decided to eat out though. So you did. You decided that you did. She could have not had a wedding. She could just go to the fucking courthouse, right? Ah, but she really wants to like have, I wonder what kind of like flower she's going to decide to get. Okay, God bless. So anyway, yes, at the venue the day of, she's like, okay, Josh, you set up the photo booth exactly like I told you to do it. And mom, sit down with me comfortably at this table and help me go over the shopping list, which is like, wait, so your mom has to just help you do something that you should be doing? That's her whole job? And then she's like, okay, Josh's mom, go ahead and lay everything out on the table and organize it. One of these things are not like the other. I'm like, I'm so surprised she's like, and Josh's dad just like cook the whole thing. Okay, good. Everyone has their chore. Meet me back here. I don't know. I find it hilarious. Okay. So at some point though, she's like, Josh, let me ask you a question. What should we do about these streamers? He's like, yes. She's like, no. What's your opinion? What should I do with these streamers? He's like, I'm just here to say yes. I'm a yes man. She's like, okay, fine. But can I just real talk? Can you just give me your opinion? I'm just like overloaded. Tell me what to do with these streamers, please. And he's like, yes. She's like, you fucking asshole. And in the confessionals, he's like, maybe she should ask fucking Rick or something. And I would thought, I'll be honest. There's a lot of Katie hate, but in that moment, I was like, "That's so weird and petty, Josh." If you have something to say that's making you, like, resentful or petty, then surely say it, but don't just sit there with your, like, tiny peen and be like, "Mm, mm, mm." I mean, say it then or not, but, like, I think it's I'd be like, "Divorce. Wedding's off." Okay, so just then and there, honey, his friend from the UK comes over, okay? And this friend is named Megan, and listen, I think that he has like a type, and his type is white girl with red hair that looks like she has a fun time or is like eccentric or exciting in some way, right? When we see Megan, we're like, "Oh, did you ever fuck Megan?" Because, A, she's coming by herself. B, to a whole ass different country. C, she looks like a version of Katie, a different version. Um, and she has like a little twinkle in her eye that I'm just like, what is that? Now, suddenly the tables are turned and Katie's like, "Ugh, I'm so annoyed because Josh is going to go out for his stag party, like stag, whatever they fucking call it. Like he's going to go for his bachelor party now that his friends are here the night before the wedding, and I don't want him to drink." And we're like, "You don't want him to what? I'm sorry, bitch, what? You don't want him to drink? Oh, really? Do you even know what those words mean? I didn't know you knew those words. You don't want drink? Anyone? I didn't know that you thought there was such a thing as saying no to one. I thought you thought that like air, water, alcohol, all the things that your body says yes to absorbs, either voluntarily or involuntarily, might as well. I mean, lividness to even be like, "I don't want him to drink." Why? Okay, so this is okay. She's like, she's mad that he's leaving early to go hang out with his friends. Now, this is what it feels like the communication. He's like, "I'm letting her do everything for the wedding." She knows that his friends are coming in town. He feels in his heart that if his friends are in town, they expect to hang out with him and or be hosted and or entertained by him the night before the wedding, and they're paying money to do so, and so that's what's expected. She thinks that his complete time and schedule belongs to her at her whim because she doesn't want to get any other help either by payment or any other friends or whatever she's doing and has decided to do certain things. Katie's obviously wrong. But what is annoying and what I've said openly is that no one tells her this and why. So I think that she like spins to being like, "I'm right. He shouldn't go out and he better not drink." Now, in our heart of hearts, all of us are like, "Dear God, if Josh goes out and drinks." And by the way, Megan has already set up like the thing about Josh and I, it's so funny. It's like every time like we hang out, we're like, we're gonna have one drink, but then one drink turns us to shutting down the bar at 3 a.m. We're like, "Just you and him? What are you doing there? Are you listening to music? Are there any other guys that are you cuddling in the 3 a.m.? Are you just like, great. Well, it was fun hanging out, Josh. See you next time. Walk away, walk away. No, I mean, obviously, I don't, okay, not to be like a horn dog, but like something, right? Or something has to happen, right? Or something's got to give, right? And if that happens, I would be so thankful. I would be overjoyed if they got drunk the night before his wedding and he hooked up with her on camera and then had to tell Katie. Like, I'm not saying hooked up like, but However, if he just made out with her, if he just could just make out with her, and maybe he would come home with her like red lipstick on his shirt. And then she would see it and she would know. But she can't say anything. All she does is get drunk and make out with people. Like if she was caught in a situation with her own medicine, honey, where she had to swallow it, oh my God, would we not? I mean, collectively, would it heal mankind? Okay. Marissa and Edward. So they are hot on the heels of this shitty date where now they've separated and she's off in the corner and they're both kind of complaining to the producers about each other. And she comes back and he's like, "What was that?" And she's like, "I needed to exit the situation." And she's like, "You made me really upset because this was supposed to be a really good night and you're just blaming me." He's like, "No, you're not listening to me. I was trying to tell you how happy I am, that you've changed and I, realized the things I need to change." She's like, "Well, you didn't say it right now. It's all ruined and I just, like don't know what to do." And he's like, "Well, you're overreacting." And she's like, "Stop it. Shut up." And he's like, "I'm not going to shut up. I just want simple answers." She's like, very upset, and she keeps, like, not being able to really talk to him and, like, breathing slowly and just, like, sort of disassociating, like, being like, box breathing. 4, just like what we do at the end of this podcast, "Ha, ha, ha," but really, come on. She's just honestly telling him, like, "Shut up," and then he gets up, and he was mad that she got up, and then now he gets up, and this is, like, why it's a little dumb, okay? I mean, this is why I'm, like, gonna spend 45 minutes talking about Katie and Josh and not that long talking about Marissa and Edward because it's like this back and forth at this one meal. I mean, can you imagine like having to watch them if you're in this like restaurant? She's like, "Shh, keep your voice down." And it's like, first of all, he surely maybe like got a little loud, but also your complete demeanor and your hair, like you bring attention. There's not anyone in this restaurant that isn't also like being completely distracted by you and your energy. Like both of them are so upset, so angry. And she's like, "I thought that we were just about to get over this mess. And I was going to be so happy and finally be able to tell you that I'm decided this is good and I'm in it. And now I just want to go home." He's like, "Okay, let's go home," but they don't go home, and then they finally go home. It's like so ugh. He basically wanted to be like, "I'm not gonna be jealous anymore because if the worst case scenario that I fear, which is that you cheat on me, happened, I'm just going to sit in the knowledge that you chose, a disasterly path, and that's not on me," is what he should have said, but he didn't. He made it seem like she's a shitty person and a bad person that's just can't wait to cheat on him. And he's like being like, "All right, bitch, if it happens, you're going to hell," like, and she just wanted a fun, sexy night. So she's mad because she loves sex with him. It's her favorite thing. And now she's like, "I'm dry down there. Thanks a lot, Edward." I I honestly came in here and I was like, "You know what? I don't want to drink." And then you were going to have a drink. And then I was going to let you warm me up. And I love when I let you warm me up. And I just look at you and I see what you're doing. And I'm like, maybe I should. And you like tease me with something. And I'm like, I don't know, maybe. And then you give me a little taste of something. And I'm like, "Mm, mm." And then I like it. I'm like, okay, I'll get one. And then like push comes to shove. And I'm like 5 in and we're having the time of our life. Like that's the night I wanted. Edward, and we're gonna go back to the house, and you don't even know what we're going to in all of the showers in that one bathroom. But that's not what's gonna happen now because you fucked it up. You really did. All this makeup I have on, this cute ass outfit. You have no idea the lingerie I have under here. Or maybe you do. Maybe I'll just take it off when we get in the car, just so you know how you think I'm gonna be the one that's gonna up when like if I was to cheat on you, you just fucked up. I just said it real because that's how real it is, Edward. That's what happened. Okay. I just feel like it's so funny, right? Okay, so let's move on to Paula and Thomas. So He goes to the beach while her family and her go dress shopping. Okay. And, we're on the heels of like him being like, none of you can spray any sort of perfume. And they're being like, oh, okay. Okay, weirdo. And then while they're in the car, the family and Paula, they're like, we're so happy to be here, mom especially, because when you were married before, mom wasn't involved in any of that. And she was so sad. We're like, oh, when she was married before, this is the Paula that was like so obsessed with her family. She wasn't involved at all. Okay. And now she gets to be involved. And, Paula's like, yeah, great. I'm so happy. Yes, you're here. And everything is perfect. And not at all like the last situation, which ended in divorce and was not good for me. This one is the same opposite, different, opposite. But, I don't know. Because the thing is, Paula is unsure. She's like, 90 days isn't enough. We're like, we know. It's because I guess the 90 days have to kind of be like, you have to really be sure before you even apply. You can't just be like dating someone being like, I would love to continue dating this person abroad. Let's see if we can date in real life by you being here. Fiance visa is like, I'm in love with this person. I need to spend the rest of my life with this person. Let's just see what it's like to live and cohabitate. And the truth of the matter is, I don't know why this smell thing wasn't an issue every other time they've been together, if it's that peril to it, to the relationship. So anyway, she tries on the first one of the first dresses in the wedding shop as her whole family sits down. And it's like princessy and there's like beads and there's no straps and it's not good. It's like nothing about that dress would make me feel like that's her. But they're like, "Oh, it's so beautiful." I was like, "They better not fucking get that dress." I was really livid. I didn't even take a picture of it because I was like, "Please no." And then the next scene is, or the next part of this is that her sis surprises her. Yep. Her sister, who I wish they had set up with having a more important relationship with her. It would have been great to have sister FaceTime so we really care about this surprise. I mean, I would love to cry. If you had given me like Paula being like, I FaceTime my sister in one episode, FaceTime my sister in one episode, and then her Paula being like, my whole family's here, but I'm sorry. I really wanted my sister to be here because I mean, we work together. She is running my beauty shop, which is why I can't be here. Sorry, tattoo shop. Um, anyway, I love my sister so much. God, just wishing on a star. You know what I'm saying? Just somehow she could be here, but I don't know. And then you would cut to her being here. I mean, I would get such a sob from me, but like they didn't produce it that way. We're like, oh, she has a sister. I don't know. That's how I felt about it. But like, her sister's very nice. I'm happy that she's there. And then, but the thing about Paula is she's like, oh, fuck, now my sister's here. It's like, I can't have, like, what am I going to do? Like, there's two nightmare options. We think that she's going to say this. I don't want to send my family back if I decide to not get married, and then them have to be like, yeah, she didn't get married. We all went out there to see a wedding, but it didn't happen. She didn't get married. But that's not what Paula says. She says she doesn't want her family going back there thinking that she is so desperate to get married or get married to a gringo that she is settling for a Thomas. Like, that's kind of the inference that she makes. Which, when she says that, I clock. Now, I don't want to be in the streets for you, telling you all your business, but people are saying that on her Instagram. She looks like she's back in Brazil, and by looks like she is, she's literally tagging Brazil, like Brazilian locations and like seeing plays in Brazil. I'm not saying that you can't go back and forth, but she's definitely not here in America. She's definitely not in the LBC in Northern Southern California. Nowhere near me, Chris Farah. I'm, adjacent. So, her second dress is such a winner. It's this like mermaid dress with like a sparkle accoutrements, kind of like V-neck situation. It's really beautiful. I think it does her really a lot of like body yaddy yaddy highlighting, and I think it's lovely. So then Thomas meets up with his friend Xavier in like a workout area on the beach. Now Xavier looks interesting. Who is Thomas? Who are you? Doo, 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 doo. Like, you're a beginner volleyball player, gamer, maybe yogi, frugal guy. For some reason, they work out at the park, and I think it's because this was a free area to film because it's outdoors, and that's my only idea because there's no way any of the movements Xavier's doing on this equipment has ever been done by him before. He doesn't feel familiar to any of it. He, like, tries to do one little push-up on the bar, honey, and it's just one and done. He is obviously not someone who works out there, at least. I'm not saying he doesn't, like, move. I feel like maybe he does soccer. I mean, I don't know. All I'm saying is all of the working out they're doing, like, with these kind of park training benches. You know what I'm saying, honey? You see them. I don't know, you like, and I think they're cool. Like, yeah, I love it when cities are like, get some free exercise in. This will be in a public area and you can come here and like move these bars around and there's some resistance, surely. But it's just interesting how we're supposed to believe like these two dudes do this a lot and very much like Xavier, this is his first time. They had like talk kind of awkwardly, like at first about the weather and stuff like that. Xavier has one of those like ear hole things, that feels like I don't know, it does certainly feels like 90s to me or 2000s, early 2000s. Um, this is the episode of people doing things the last goddamn minute. So Tom is like, yeah, I still have to get a videographer and a photographer. They're like, you do? Jesus, okay. So Xavier's like, well, what's happening between you and Paula? Because, she's with her parents right now. And in her mind, we can hear like, her absolute cold feet thoughts. Is that what you call it? I'm getting cold feet. Yeah. She's having them. Are you having them? And the answer is Thomas is. He's like, we're just, the last 2 weeks have been really bad. Her spending has been out of control. She spent $900 on a bunch of Mr. and Mrs. stuff. And I mean, I'm frugal. I don't like spending money. I want to know what she spent money on. Like, I hate to say this. My first thought was, oh, did she buy like those hangers and stuff like that? Like, did she just get a bunch of things embroidered? Here's the thing. Surely I do feel like she likes to spend money and I feel like she's unhappy. So I wonder if she's trying to live in the fantasy that the universe is giving her, that the miniatures, made for her, that she's about to be a beautiful, beautiful white bride. Sorry, white being, like in a white dress. Like I feel like there's a lot of like little girls that have like the white dress bride fantasy, you know what I'm saying? And will do whatever it takes to get there. Just like there's a lot of girls that have the I want to be a mommy fantasy and will do whatever it takes to be there. Just like there's a lot of gross dudes that have, like, I want to be, the Elon Musk of biohacking, whatnot, and like trying to get there and like selling things online and whatever. There's a lot of end goals that people feel like justify the means, and also their end goals are shitty, but they're shitty. So their goals are shitty, you know? Okay, so he says it's her way or the highway. And yeah, like Xavier's like, yeah, Thomas feels like Paula just makes fun of him and is like, has a sarcastic tone and doesn't take him seriously. And we know that Paula doesn't take him seriously because she thinks every part of him is annoying. And he, instead of seemingly trying to compromise with her, is upset that she isn't just allowing him to be an allergic person. Like, that's why I'm like, okay, why not just take us to a doctor? Take us to a doctor right now. Take us to his allergist. And then you need to have his allergist be like, he can't get better. There's nothing on his part he can do. You have to not have perfumes. Or have the allergist be like, he can go on this treatment. And then Pal be like, okay, do it. And then he'll be like, I don't want to. And then be like, okay, I'm gonna break up with you. Then you're just a lazy asshole who wants everyone to like, move the sun for your being. But it's funny because he's like, it's her way or the highway, but she's like, I just want to like have my smells, and you're saying no smells. And smells are in so many things. Cause she like wants an aesthetic, Paula is a girl that's living in a fantasy in a lot of ways, not just the pretty princess uh wedding gown, bride to be, like universe manifesting. She seems to have in her mind, I am going to get married to a gringo, live in California. I'm going to be a vegan and gluten free, and I get to have all those things. And I'm going to have all of the, you know, things I want. And I'm going to manifest my perfect life because that's what's happened so far. And if there are any red flags, I'm just to ignore them because I have to keep on because everything's perfect in the fantasy. And this is how I get to what I need and what I want, you know? And like the thing about it is Paula herself is having a crisis, realizing that he is now I feel like he's given her the ick in some way. But they've never been super sexual. Like I have never felt their sexual chem. So I feel like there was a part of Paula that always knew that she was settling. That wasn't like a full-on relationship that like made sense. And then I also feel like Thomas should know that too. He's like, "I don't wanna put my mortgage in her name." We're like, "Okay, well." Okay, that ends part 1 of this mega recap. Thank you guys so much for listening. I really appreciate it. Please give me 5 stars if you haven't yet. Please go ahead and follow me on YouTube for some fresh lives, as well as at Chris L. Farah on Instagram, on TikTok. You can also join my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Chris Farah. I also have a Facebook group, Vanity Farah, and a page on Facebook that you can like. I really appreciate any sort of way you can help a sister out. At the same time, I wish you all the best. Let's get back to school. Let's get our asses in gear. If you haven't yet, join me as I just like right the ship, honey. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you feel that way. I feel like I have to right my ship constantly. I'm never just going straight and, it's just a constant kind of like tweaking back and forth. And at this point, it's been a whole reversal of direction because not direction, but I have to kind of get back into, a good rhythm. And I think that like it aligns with kind of what happens when we get back to school, kind of feelings or just what life is, honey. So yeah, let's do it if you want together and get on to part 2 and then we'll breathe and enjoy our week. All right. I appreciate you guys. Bye. I'm gonna take a sip of water. Welcome back to part 2 of my recap of 90 Day Fiance, season 12, episode 15. It's better to bend than break. Honey, this is Vanity Fair, and my name is Chris Farah. You know what you're doing. You're listening to me break down episodes, also talk about any sort of like stream of conscious, hopefully pop culture things that are happening now or aughts, 90s. That situation. However, at the same time, much thanks for listening. I appreciate you guys. Let's get in. Mito and Debbie. Look what I'm starting with. Are you so excited? Me too. So, honey, he is sitting at her vanity. I've seen this vanity and talked about it a billion times, and he's off. I'm sorry, he's awfully familiar with the vanity. He's sprayed himself down with a Dior perfume right now. And I mean, I found this interesting, and I'll just bring it up because I took so many pictures. He is tweezing his beard with what looks like Tweezerman tweezers, just going in, micro garnishing. No, pruning, primping. Yeah, that must hurt. That thick ass beard hair, just have to pull it out. Ooh, I know what mine feel like. But I've got mine lasered, so they don't hurt this much. Okay, so honey, he is in his full nighttime routine. It's a full 10 step. It's like 8 o'clock. I see on his watch. Okay. He does his plug in. And then we see like on her vanity that she has a bottle of that pixie glow stuff that we were, remember that? He gets a pad, he sprays it with a pixie glow, honey. He just finishes himself down, honey. He just has to make sure it's all looking right. It's all looking good. And then, baby, there it is. Final step. Everyone's doing it. Why not Mito? Get those eye patches on. Make sure that he is very taut underneath those eyes, honey. That is a star. You got to keep that skin moisturized, baby skin. He's ageless, honey. He could play a 17-year-old easily. He's cast him. Pilot season. That doesn't exist anymore. Anyway, so he is just like living his best life at the Vanity, honey, which we're like clocking and we're like, yeah, I get it. And then she comes in, she's packing all of the Louis, honey. She bought them all. She like, went and got all the luggages. She has her purse, she has the duffel bag, she has what looks like an organizer, a makeup bag, like, kind of satchel. And I'm so happy for her, at least that she's like, I want to be fancy. I've lived on God's green earth long enough that if I want to be fancy, I've decided I want to be fancy, I'm gonna be fancy. And I love Louis Vuitton. And I'm gonna buy all my things with the monogram, so great. Um, Listen, if you are gonna buy luggage that you don't check and you wanna do that for yourself or anything else designer that you enjoy, fine. She talks a lot of people into unnecessary coverage options for their insurance so she can hit the quotas if not exceed them and get the bonuses for those LVs. So she works for them, is what I'm saying. By sort of fucking over other people, surely. I'm not saying that they don't need the insurance, but you can really like use fear to like upsell someone for like stuff like that. Okay, so but at the same time, maybe you just need to be covered all the time. Like I would be like, if I had the money, I'd be like, cover me for everything, honey. I mean, I'm in California right now, fire, earthquake, all of it. What do I have no precious person. Okay. Um, he asks how hanging with her friends was. And she's like, "Oh, really? Well, let's be honest, horrible because they hate you." Well, my friends that hate you? How was that? Bad? They hate you? You know what would have been great if you had wanted to talk to them? He's like, "No, it's okay. I'll never talk to them. So that's fine. They're no longer your friends. I will never see them again. You do whatever you want, not be friends with them. I'm your husband." Like that's low key what he's saying. But we're getting a whole different Mito. Like Mito took some sort of chill pill in the craziest way between like the last two episodes and like the whole other early part of the season because he now seemingly obviously wants to get married. I don't know if it was just like he tried to do like a manipulation technique where he's always wanted to get married to her because he of course wants to live in America, to be a star. And he thought that he had to be avoidant about his commitment with not saying I love you and sort of being like I'm going to leave at any time. Like maybe that was his tactic to get her to like always be on her toes, wishing, hoping, praying that he is kind in the next moment to her. You know what I'm saying? Like it's that, and now he is so much so that now they're talking about sex and he's like, can't wait for it. She's like, I know that you're so excited for the marriage now because we're finally having sex. Like, yes. We're like, what? Like the face that she makes when they talk about sex. He's like, "Are you ready?" She's like, "Yes." "Are you ready?" I forgot that there was a possibility because I didn't think they were going to make it down the aisle, and then once realized on the streets that, yes, they do. Until this moment that we were going to have the after sex morning recap producer conversation. Like, that means Debbie's gonna be like, the morning after with that hair that she's constantly touching her hair, honey, constantly adjusting. You're just gonna be like, like something messed up. She's just like come out of the St. Vincent Hotel on Magazine Street being like, he fucked me real good. Or he couldn't get it up. Or it was an interesting night. I don't know what her demeanor is going to be, but I cannot fucking wait. Okay, let's get back to it. So At this point, though, she's really upset because Caden, God bless, said that he's going to have to work. And she says to Mito that she will not get married without Caden. And Mito's like, yes, you will, bitch. Shut up. And we're like, yeah, yeah, she will. But, God bless. He looks in the mirror and he's like, I do. Or I do not. That is the problem. Just kidding. Get it, get it. Shakespeare, I know Shakespeare so well. I do. You're just like, oh my God, oh my God. He loves looking at himself in the mirror, acting to himself. Okay. I'm just gonna be like 100% honest. I will be always in my life, and you know that I'm annoyed with myself that I want to be an actor or I'm an actor. Like I'm just saying, like it's annoying to me to be a theater kid. It's annoying to me to be, like in the pursuit of acting at any given time. Why? Because I think it's like a self-indulgent, very like like kind of look at me act. Okay, I know that, and I didn't even know I want to be an actor because I thought for an actor for so long was just someone who wanted to be on the red carpet until I realized that like an actor was someone who played like Adelaide and Guys and Dolls. That's someone who could just, get paid to go through a rehearsal process for like 8 weeks and play with a bunch of fun people and like learn choreography and get to make fun voices and just like, all of that. Like that's crazy to me. And that's what I wanted to do. Anyway, so why I'm still in the pursuit of that. And, God bless why my groundlings now, probably even though this moment happened to me at 15. Moving on. I wish I wasn't this way because I think it's like so cringy. And at the same time, look, Mito wants to be an actor. How cringy. And I want to be open and honest with all the cringy shit I do. But I'm going to tell you this right now. I don't look into the mirror, into my own eyes and act with myself. Now, what I do is I make up monologues or scenes where I just do them in my head or out loud, but I'm not looking at myself. I'm just moving around. And or I sing. Sometimes I sing in the mirror, but it's not so much like emoting and looking at myself. It's more so that if you're going to sing, usually bathrooms have good acoustics and bathrooms have lots of mirrors. But also like, hardwood floors, not hard, well, maybe hardwood, but like tile, marble. And so obviously it's good to sing. And so sometimes I just look at myself because I'm like, well, there I am. I can't imagine just like looking in my own eyes and trying to act. I think it's so weird. You can't look into both your eyes though. You just pick one. Anyway. Um, So basically, at some point, her son is now in. So it is the most anticlimactic, whatever thing that didn't have to happen. And we get a lot of weird moments that happen. Two highly questionable, mysterious moments happen. Okay. Um, in the car with Devin, when it's revealed that Caden is going to, in fact, make it to the wedding, Debbie says, "Oh, I'm so happy he's gonna be here because it's not often that we're all together." And then Devin's like, "I know." And then it's pitch silent for what feels like a beat, if not longer, of people just being like, no cut to confessional to tell us why. Caden, from my knowledge, because I just got back from New Orleans, this is what I think it is. Okay, this is what I did. I flew into central Louisiana. I've already told you this, God bless. Rented a car, right? Drove from Alexandria, Lake Charles, Kinder area through Baton Rouge, where LSU is, to New Orleans. That is a 4-hour trip. Baton Rouge is like somewhere in the middle. So Caden works and lives somewhere between 2 to 4 hours away. Now, there can be traffic coming in and how annoying that can be, but you know what I'm saying? Fill us in on why you don't meet up a lot. Because then she says this. Debbie says, "I just can't believe my son, is just meeting him now." And I want to be like, yeah, either can we. Oh, if only someone could fill us in on why that's here right now. That's you. Why? Okay, this is what I was like. Caden, I'm assuming, just didn't wanna be on camera, and I wish that she could have been like, "My son Caden just works a lot, and he doesn't really wanna be on camera and have, everyone go up there, so that's why it's not happening." But if Caden was in Baton Rouge because he's working, at the college or whatever, remember how they were like, he has some bullshit college job that, like, isn't that important? That's why it's, like, weird that he seemingly is like, "Oh, I have to work, they're calling me in," when it's like, "Well, you can be like, my mom's getting married or whatever, or fuck this work." Okay, so that's one thing, but also B, so is it a college job and the college, is LSU? Is that what it is or something else? Why wouldn't production go to where he was to have them meet like in a park or something like that and give us another opportunity to have like something happen and also to set that up? Why are we like going back and forth of us seeing him or not now? Because it's not interesting, it's not that important. And yeah, of course he's gonna be there. He comes in like in a weird suit. Before though, we realize, yes, they're staying at the St. Vincent on Magazine Street. It's a lovely, very boutique, kind of eclectic hotel. It looks gorgeous. I'm very happy for them. They have the 3-bedroom suite, honey, for that wedding, and what looks like a very comfy bed. And he is so excited about that bed. One thing about Mito is he loves to lay around and be comfortable. He doesn't want to talk to anyone. And so, guess what? He's on a reality show and about to get married and stuck with a batty old lady and her, well, her daughter and now her son that he has to appease, and that's not what he wants to do, but the end goal, honey, is Hollywood. Hollywood. So, now she's nervous to have sex with him even though the bed looks comfy. It's 2 hours before the wedding, and she's gotten some room service, honey. Oh my god, what a good choice. One thing about Debbie is she knows how to live. She gets a bunch of fruit, a club sandwich, some fries. Yum, honey, I love a club sandwich. I get that middle bread usually, like, taken out if possible, and I don't it's because it's too much bread, and also it's hard to eat. It's hard to put my mouth around it. I have a small mouth. Sometimes hard to eat, like, big ass sandwiches, like, how you go to delis? You ever go to delis and have to, like, take out half of the meat they put in it? If there's no sometimes there's no middle piece of bread. You just have to take out meat because it's like, I cannot open my mouth that big. I'm gonna give me lockjaw. So, yeah, her son comes in, he is dressed. Now he feels very like Michael J. Fox in Family Ties. Like, like, he's, like, proper, very, like, by the book. He keeps saying, "Absolutely, absolutely." Yeah. He's like, "Nice to meet you." Mio's like, "Nice to meet you. It's a pleasure." He's like, "Yeah, absolutely." Is this some, like, weird script from the manosphere? The absolutely just threw me off. So, it is like, why didn't you meet him? And he's like, I do have some grievances. I do have some questions. And so the girls leave and he asks Mito what he wants to do for a job. And Mito's like, oh, acting. He's like, yeah, no, it's like that's a one in a million shot, but it's like a lotto situation. What are you going to do to pay the bills? And Mito is like, fuck this guy. I hate this line of questioning. How dare he asks me? I only want to do what I love, acting. However, I do have a plan B if acting doesn't work out for the money, just because I know I have to make money. And I need something practical, you say, something practical that isn't just, like a hope and a dream, but something I can do surely to make money, but based on my skills. Okay, I got something for you. Yes, Kaden. Make music video. I can be a musical video star slash singer on YouTube. I just really want to like entertain, create, is what he says. This is why I'm like, so this is okay. Well, first of all, who are you? Who do you think you are, Mito? Do you think you're like some like 4-year-old child auditioning for Disney shows that's either going to be a Disney child actor or I don't know, a singer? What are you, fucking Sabrina Carpenter and or Ariana Grande and or Selena Gomez and or Zendaya? I can't. I just, yeah, like It makes me mad to be an actor because this person sounds absolutely delusional. So then I'm like, oh no. That guy is like, okay, because I just don't want my mom to be married to a slouch on the couch. That kind of reminds me of Geek in the Pink. Remember that? Anyway. Mito's like, no, 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 I would hate that. No, yes, now you are my brother, best friend. I know no one here, no other men are here. Please help me. Please help me. Please be my friend. How come you just got here, Kaden? Where are you? There's no other. I have to deal with her slutty friend with the weird hair. I hate that girl. And this, your sister barely talks. She sleeps on the couch. Help me. You're just like, oh my God. Okay, so that just tickled me from ear to ear. I loved every second of that whole sequence. I really did. I'm just like, so what's gonna happen? I forgot about the sex for some reason. That's that's the part of me that I'm like, oh my God, I forgot about the sex. Forgot about the sex. We get to deal with the sex. The sex is still gonna happen. Sex is still happening. I forgot about it because so many things happened. Also because it's just so crazy that he's even still there. But like, I'm like, oh my God, that means if A, then B, then you know. Okay, Shay and Annabelle. They are packing, honey, because they're going to go to the Smoky Mountains for their wedding. Smoky Mountains, just like where Dolly's from. Smoky Mountains, Smoky Mountain Chocolate Factory, very yummy chocolates. Smoky Mountains. I don't know a lot about the Smoky Mountains, except for honestly the two things I just said. And if I'm ever going to talk about it again, I will not be like, oh, the place that Shay and Annabelle went and got married will be my third thing. So anyway, he's like, for a Catholic girl, you sure fuck. I think that's true. I mean, listen, historically, I guess Catholics make a lot of babies, so okay. Um, they go over a very important delineation between hillbilly and redneck, and he describes hillbillies as being like kind of like solo weed farmers in the mountains that don't really want to talk to people, and rednecks though are hunters. They like to like do cattle stuff and they love beer. So the big difference is one beer, one weed. I was like, that's the difference. I never knew that. Huh. But they drive up the Smoky Mountains and it's really beautiful. And I was like, oh, I want to know about more about these mountains. I've been thinking about, I love mountains, you know me. Even when I went to New York, I found the fucking waterfall. I sometimes look at pictures of Glacial Lake and Olympia National Forest and Glacial National Forest to ease my mind. And also sometimes pictures of the Alps. Just like pure unadulterated nature, just like screaming in your face when you can do nothing but just like be completely engulfed by a beautiful natural landscape is overwhelming to me. So like, yes, that kind of thing. Also, I've talked about like going to Manoa Falls and like Hawaii and Oahu. Same sort of feeling. So he's wearing a camo jacket. He loves it. She's wearing one of those like poof beanie hats. I'm happy about that. She looks cute. Now she's nervous to meet Madison, who's Nicole's daughter. Now, obviously, we didn't get like the fun Nicole Annabelle breakdown because Annabelle hates Nicole, but we did get like Shay making Nicole sell her stuff. Okay. But Annabelle thinks that Nicole has told her daughter a bunch of bad things, and therefore Madison will treat her, Annabelle, poorly because she has prejudice against her. Um, Now, here's the unspoken thing Nicole's had some issues. Nicole doesn't have like a pristine past, which means Madison has dealt with her mom long enough to know that her mom's opinion about all the things in her mom's life is skewed. That's the problem. Sometimes women who, oh God, people, men, sometimes, because it really isn't a woman, but this is just unfortunately a woman I'm talking about, no, but it really could be men. Sometimes people who have a negative viewpoint and they feel like fucked up things happen to them enough that they get resentful, angry, or petty about things cannot be trusted when telling you about their life because upon listening to them, certain things don't add up and questions start to arise, and you realize they're giving you their version of what is their perception of what happened, and it's not real. It's not truthful. And other people be like, no, I was there. That person crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like you can tell when that's happening. And I feel like Nicole might be one of those people. So Madison, knowing that about her own mom, is like, yeah, I'm my own person. So I move through this world making my own decisions. And if what my mom tells me goes in one ear and out the other. And I love my dad. All of Shay's daughters look alike. Madison, Nicole, we're gonna meet another one, Abby. They all look alike. They're really beautiful ladies. I think they're really pretty. But I say that because, like, Abby and Allison are full blood sisters, and Madison is a half sister. And so obviously we've met Nicole. Haven't met Shay's first baby mama, but they all look alike. So I don't know if they just favor Shay. That's Shay's face. Who knows? But they go to this beautiful Airbnb. It's really lovely decorated. And I'm like, oh, maybe I should just go to this Airbnb, honey, and see what my Smoky Mountain life is. Allison shows up first with her boyfriend, Jonathan, and then some niece who's like, the party just got here. We're like, oh my God, it runs in the family. Just like a bunch of fucking party non-stoppers, honey, just alcoholics in this family, just like runs deep, like what is this niece? What is she? 22? Why is she coming in like that for a wedding? That's so funny. Okay, so then it gets real awkward. Then everyone sits down and Abby's like, yeah, nice to meet you. Cool. So here, I just had to ask you, Dad, like, what's going to happen with your will, like when you die? We hate the thought of you dying. We don't want it to happen. We've not been like, what's going to happen or counting it before it happened. But now that she's here, it's just that you have kids that have been here the whole time and like you just met Annabelle and also like your kids who have been here the whole time who you made, who didn't have a choice to come here, who you made, therefore you like have to like take care of. They decided to also like, have kids. So do you have to take care of their kids as kids? Because their kids as kids didn't decide to be here either, Dad. Right, Allison? And Allison's like, yeah, thanks, sis. Thanks for coming in. I forgot to bring that up. I was so busy with the other drama. You're just like, oh my God. Annabelle's like, Shay's like, well, I think that's really a business between me and Annabelle. That's so messy. Because what I want to say is truthfully, and I mean this truthfully, and I'm not so far away from this situation that I could be like, wouldn't Madison have had this conversation with her dad over the phone? Like the minute that she's like realizing Annabelle's going to come and get married, like why would you just book a ticket and decide just to finally have this conversation right now? It's a great conversation to have on camera, surely, but it can't be the first time. That's how I feel. But yeah, they're talk about the will, or talk about, like who gets the money, like they just basically like, they want Shay to be like, well, upon my death, Annabelle will then move back to the Philippines where she came from. With like a cool $500 and those dumb platform shoes that I bought her that Allison decided to put her foot in. Okay, one deer head. She gets one deer head upon my death. You all get a deer head. I know it's the most important thing. That's what the will is, all deer heads. Okay, so Mallory and Rashid. So guess what? Mallory's like, I feel bad for him, so I'm going to let him have his favorite thing in the world, boats. Let's get on this boat, honey. He sees the boat. He's like, oh, it's too small. She's like, I'm sorry. I'm not fucking Bezos with a liner and con, okay? She says it's not been great between them. But she knows that he again loves the boats, and he gets in front of that boat, honey, and the guy's like, let me give you the old information. And Rashid's like, shut up, bitch. I know it all. I can tell you what's up. And he gets a little captain's hat, so he feels like a strong man. He's like driving this boat, never says thank you to her, which I thought was interesting. He's like, I can't even enjoy it. And we're like, why? Because of the baby conversation? He's like, I just miss turkey. I miss boats. We're like, you're on a fucking boat right now, asshole. Look around. Only because not a lot of Americans do things for the other person like this. So enjoy it. Then they have the baby talk again, which is he wants to have kids and she doesn't want to, or doesn't know she wants to, or wants more time with it. And here's the thing, very early on, and there's a lot of clips of him being like, I love you so much. There's nothing I could do to leave you. I don't know what would happen if you die. You had everything. I was meant to be here. And then now he's like, oh, you won't have baby for me? Yeah. And she can't believe that he would cast her aside so fast, so like flippantly, because she is used to him like love bombing her. So she's so weirded out by it. And he's like, you know what? I will break up right now and I will go back to Turkey. And she's like, well, you're my everything and I don't want to leave you. So I just want 2 years. Okay, fine. I'll have your kid. I just want 2 years. Give me 2 years to travel. And not only that, you don't have to sign the prenup. He's like, no sign. She's like, no, you don't have to sign. No, I won't make you sign. Which is not anything he was even saying. All you had to do was be like, I'll give you a baby. What you basically did is all you said is give yourself 2 years. Easy. Oh God, I used to say this, but like if you're the woman, aren't you kind of like in charge of when that would happen anyway? I don't know what her, sexual history is or what her like, feminine fertility information is. And I'm not asking, but she can kind of like pick and choose at some point when they start to have sex and he's full blast loading at her and, like around certain areas of the month. So 2 years is not that long when you're young like that. She didn't have to be like, no to the prenup. And also, the prenup is just it could be literally anything. It's just a contract. It could just literally be like after, like if we get divorced in 5 years, you get nothing. But after 5 years, you get everything, which is like, would be a kind of a lovely prenup. You know what I'm saying? If there was just a buffer like that, like for the first 5 years, if we break up, no, everyone just leaves with what they have. But if we have kids and or if we hold property together and or after 5 years, you start to get things. I don't know. It's just, it could be whatever it wants to be. That's what a prenup is. So I never understand why people are so upset about it. They make it seem like a prenup is always, you never have any money. You didn't walk in with any money. You'll never leave with any money. If we break up, everything of mine, that's mine, is mine, and will continue to be mine. But that's not necessarily what it says. If you want it to say something else. Um, I think it's like reasonable for her to like want to travel, but I don't understand why like they are seemingly not communicating on what they actually want. And if she doesn't want to have kids, she shouldn't acquiesce on that. And it's weird that she acquiesces on not only that, but the prenup at the same time. Seems like a wild blow. It's like I wonder if that is like a manipulation tactic that he used. Like, I love you, I love you, I love you. And the minute that he's like, no, I don't love you, I'm gonna leave you. She's like, to get the dopamine hit back, she's like, I'll do whatever it takes. Here's everything you've ever wanted and more. You're not even asking for. Oh my God. I was just talking to my cousin the other day about how it's funny because, love bombing is a thing, right? And like, people can be swayed by, and at the same time, she's like, that better not ever happen to you. And I'm like, it won't. I won't let it. She's like, well, I won't let it happen. I'm like, okay, good. But I also was then like, I wonder why the idea of me being able to love bomb / manipulate someone into doing something for my will is not ever a skill that I have had or will ever have or can do. Like, for instance, if I was ever to love bomb someone, which means very early in a relationship, start to be like, I love you or whatever, like in a really like meaningful way, I think most people that I've dated would be like, what? I'm getting the fuck out of here. You would literally scare people off. But like, there must be some sort of sixth sense for the people that wouldn't be scared off by that. I would be scared off if someone was like immediately in love with me. However, if, unfortunately, if they did their time well and really played it out, and then suddenly like 6 months later, like, they did a long game, I could see it happening. Don't do that to me though. Don't worry, my cousin's looking out for me. All right, my babes. Oh my God. I really hope that you've enjoyed this two-part episode. I've enjoyed talking about them. If you haven't yet, you know all the things I need you to do. And I'm so sorry to bring it up, but I need them truly. Share this with your friends, anyone who loves 90 Day Fiance. Tell me what you want me to watch or talk about. Um, or what pop culture stories you're into, because I really want to start talking about some other fun things too. If you've watched any fun movies or you know any other pop culture entertainment things, hit me up. You can at the following places. You can go to my Instagram and just leave a comment if you guess, if you really want. I am at Chris L. Farah. I also have a Vanity Farah Instagram for the podcast. I also have myself on TikTok. That is at Chris L. Farah. I have a page on Facebook, Chris Farah. I have a private group on Facebook, Vanity Farah. I have a Patreon, which if you want to join for $5, you get private lives and you can really tell me what to do there. It's patreon.com/Chris Farah. And then also give me 5 stars and a review and tell me what to do. And any comment wherever you listen to podcasts on Apple or Spotify. And finally, follow me and join the fun on YouTube as well. Thank you guys so much. So, we're going to deep breathe together, just how Marissa was doing at that dinner with Edward, which is trying to ground ourselves so we don't fly the fuck off because we're really angry. Okay, that was a fake breath. That was an angry breath. We're going to do our real breaths though. Okay, let it out in twice because you get 2 times to do it. Just trying to clear your mind, bring yourself into this very present moment. We are all here together. Don't think about the past. Don't plan for the future. Make your breath or the sound of my voice or something you're touching be your anchor into this very real, what's happening right now, present moment. Okay, let's do it. All right, my babes. Take care of yourselves and one another. Stand up for what you believe and make art. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.